What's going on, guys? Big welcome to you all to our channel. We are Team Crushing the Meta. You're with D-Boy. I'm waiting for you guys with more Spark Weather reveals. So from the stream of today, we saw Maya Colony, and you've already seen the video on our channel on the reveal of Dark Face, which is very interesting, which means that I have way more hope for Spark Weathers to be as awesome as Maya Colony is, and also, yeah, as you know, Spark Weathers is my favorite clan, so I'm very interested and very excited to see what Rising Nova will do, which I think that they said that he should be revealed on Fridays. That's very fast, but I think that they're going fast through this set, as sometimes they reveal 2 or 3 cards a day, so that's amazing. Today I thought they will show us Acrobat Verdi, because yesterday they showed us the Stridefolder from Tejikazi and also their heal, and then they add an extra card which is a rare, but they did actually very different thing. So if you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like our videos, and let us know in the comment section below what is your favorite clan, and also what's the clan that you play currently the most in tournament. So your favorites and the clan that you play the most in tournament. And then of course we are talking today about the V-Booster sets 10. So this set features Spike Brothers, Maya Colony, Tachikaze, and Spike Brothers, and today we'll talk about Spike Brothers. This is part 2, though we already have talked about in part 1, where the draw triggers, the starter, and also Pantara, if I'm not mistaken, was the name of the grade 2, which gets extra plus 10k when you spare call 2 units this turn or that turn to continuous ability. Alright, so let's start with the reveals of today. We will start with Cheer Girl Country right here. She has an important ability, which is a counter charge ability, but first of all, her art looks amazing. So we were looking so long for a counter charge unit in Spike Brothers, especially in standard, and we finally got one with an amazing art. Let's analyze her ability first and then go back to talk about her, because she has an interesting ability, being a counter charger, but only when she's called by a card ability, and also only if you don't have any other face-up cards. Then you can counter charge, which means that the new deck will be able to be flexible at counterblasting. Sometimes you counterblast, sometimes not, but also it will superior call a lot, and maybe also superior call 2 units at the same time, which we will see in the next card. So which cards does this card works very well with? First of all is Siegfried. You could actually spam this card with Siegfried, because Siegfried ability is not once per turn. If you have this on the field, you target her with the Siegfried, you call her to the field, give her extra 10k, then Siegfried will get the extra 10k, and then she will counter charge if you don't have any other face-up cards. So she works amazingly good with Siegfried, but she's also a very good target to call with Spike Monster, especially in the early game, because Spike Monster calls in the early game, and normally you have only one counterblast, and this card could just give you the counter charge back. So that's also very good. Downside to that is that she's only a 7k, so normally if you boost or try to attack with her, she doesn't really make the great numbers that the 8k makes. But again, Pantara was a 9k, so this does seem a little bit strange, as our grade 2s become 9k and our grade 1s becomes a 7k instead of a 8k. Next card she works very well with is of course Ronaldo, because Ronaldo calls 2 units at the same time. Maybe one of the other units could also cost a counterblast, or he sometimes even call 3. Then with that you will be able to counterblast first with that other unit, then countercharge with her. So Ronaldo combos actually very well with this card, as being able to give you more options to counterblast and then also to countercharge with her yet again. And last but not least, if you talk about premium, then there are a lot of cards that you could use her with, like let's say Dirty Picaro for an example. But one of the most cards that we still use till nowadays, and will be also the most effective with her, is actually Agrius, because you could just get the counter charge back with Agrius very easy. You could just have Spike Bouncer on the field, then use Agrius skill, use all of your counterblasters, and then attack with Agrius, and then bounce or bind Spike Bouncer and discard, and then call them back you need to bind 3, but then you call these 2 back, and then you activate first her skill to countercharge, then the skill of Spike Bouncer, or the other way around. If you have 1 counterblast face up, then you activate that, and then you activate her ability to countercharge. So she is really flexible, and the ability that you need to have no cards face up in the damage zone, I think that's alright, we could work with that. The only downside to her ability, in my opinion, is that she needs to be superior call. But again, I think the new deck is very superior call-y. And also she's a 7k, that's also something that we have to keep in mind. Alright, the next card is a card that, as I said, could combo very well with the new mechanic, but also with the ability that you need to have no face-up cards in your G-Zone, which is Evil Hater. And this card actually is really good, and it's better than it seems on the first glance. The reason is that it costs a counterblast when he's superior called, or she or it's superior called. You can give it an extra 15k by costing a counterblast. But sometimes if you want to get that countercharge, you need to counterblast everything first, which means that this card could be actually very good to combo with her. Yes, but this means that we will have units that call 2 things at the same time, which I think that Rising will do that, but we'll talk about Rising later. With this, we have more revealed, right? We have now Braki, we have Panther, we have Needle, and we have the new Pantera. And all those 4 cards in standard gain power, but in a different way. Like Braki is the MVP because he just gained power, he could go to the soul, he could call a new one. Panther could soul blast something, he could go back to your soul, which means good against Narukami. Needle gaining that power during both turns could also be very effective against not retire heavy clans. And Pantera get the extra 10k if you have superior called 2 units this turn, which is the least strong because she's only in, or he, actually it's a he, only a 9k. But then we have Evil Hitter, defensive Evil Hitter right here, which is actually very strong because it's a 10k base, but he gets an extra 15k by counterblasting 1. And if Rising himself doesn't cost a counterblast, then that would mean that you could use a lot of your counterblasts with this card and still get the countercharge with our Cheer Girl, right? So that's actually it for the reveals of the set. But now we know more about what Rising could do. First of all, also with the reveals of Mayo Colony, we could assume that because Dark Face was only a double rare, the original Dark Face, we could assume that Mayo Colony is getting only 2 triple Rs, which means that Spike Brothers will be the clan who gets 3 triple Rs. We could assume that because you know that's one of the triple Rs of the sets is being promoted to be a VR, which means we have 4 VRs, 2 Shadow Paladin, 5 VRs, 2 Shadow Paladin, 1 Spike, 1 Mayo Colony, 1 Tachikaze, and then each clan will get 3 double Rs, except 1 clan which will get only 2 double Rs, or triple Rs, I mean. So for Rising skill, we know that he said master or force markers. Master all force markers. So that would mean that he will switch between markers. We don't know how he will do that, but I think that he will be able to switch between markers. If master all force markers mean the same as Bull Spike, move markers around, then I don't think that they would call it master all force markers. I think that he will go switch between force 1 and force 2, which means that this card would work very well with Bull Spike, because first you could, with Rising, get a force 1 and then get a force 2, and then you go to Bull Spike, and then pretty much you will be moving force 1 and force 2 around, which is really strong. And if that's the case, that would mean that even our trigger lineup could change to more draws and less crits. So that's also one of the things that could change the deck around, also the deck building around. Next thing, we know also that these new cards need to be superior called for their skill to activate, being our new Cheer Girl or the Evil Hitter right here. That would mean that Rising will call, maybe during the battle phase, but he will superior call. And by doing that, that's something very important. If this card superior calls in the battle phase, means that we will multi-attack very easy. We will have those 5 attacks very easy, But we already saw Gridora do it, we already see Charlotte do it, so I don't really see a reason why Spike can't do it. And if you go, let's say, to Bull Spike, then you can do it, but if you go to Rising, then you could. So that's the difference between the two playstyles, and also the reason why you have both VRs in your deck, as in my opinion that would be the way you build the deck. But I think Rising skill, first of all, I thought Rising skill would be call 1, but then he will have 2 abilities. First one will be switching between markers, somehow, we don't know how. And the second ability should be something like a counterblast of 1, or maybe no counterblast at all. Put 1 card from your hand into the soul and call 2 units from your deck. I expected him to call 1, but I think now he will call 2. If that's the case, then these 2 cards work very well with him, because first of all, you could call those 2 that we got revealed today, and then if you have counterblasts left, you could counterblast to give the evil hitter extra 15k, then you use the countercharge ability. If you don't have a face-up counterblast, then you use first the countercharge ability, and then go back and use the counterblast ability to give him an extra 15k. Which means that we are getting through really nice combos, like the synergy between the cards, which is something that we have with Sprite Brothers. You have good synergy. And that's actually it for me. That's actually it for us. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for enjoying our content, liking our videos, and commenting. And as I said before, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like our videos, and let us know in the comment section below what is your all-time favorite clan. Also, what is the clan that you use the most right now in tournaments? Okay guys, till next time.